Alright, welcome back to the Crabby Dice. Today we're going to be playing the Expanse board game, which is a game in the Expanse universe. Alright, so I hope you watch the show because it's actually really good. Alright, so what kind of game is this? It's a card-driven game. We're going to be using those cards to add influence to the board and doing a bunch of area majorities to score a lot of points. Alright, so that's the gist of the game. Alright, so this is going to be the review and playthrough video. Click on the link below for the rules and setup breakdown. And 3 things before we start. Like usual, please like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube channel. That would be fantastic. Let's go. Alright, quick review time here for the Expanse board game. So let's talk about the worst part of this game first, which is the production quality and the price of the game. This thing MSRP is for $60, but there's $30 games out there that have better components and more material in the box. All right, the card quality is pretty awful. Everything else is tiny chits and cubes. Even your player mat is a tiny little piece of paper. Your tech cards are little tiny cards. I mean, it's just abysmal overall. Also, you didn't have to pay an artist because this board is really bland. All the cards are just stills from the show. So yeah, but I mean, besides production, everything else is great. I really like this game. You can almost think of it like a 3 to 4 player Twilight Struggle. But Twilight Struggle takes 3 hours to play or something. This game you can play it under an hour and a half. Under an hour if you know what you're doing and you've played it like a dozen times. It's really fast. The rules overhead is really light. You can teach this game in under 5 minutes. Once you understand how scoring works and how the action point system works, you're good to go. You don't really have to explain what the events do because just say read the card and do what it says. I mean, it's really just that simple. Okay. Some other great things is the interaction on the board is really high. Okay. If you're not a fan of high interactive games, do not play this game. All right. There's a lot of interaction going on in this board. There's people removing your cubes, destroying your ships, you're moving around, you're doing the exact same thing to all the other players, and so on and so on. Now, one negative from that in the game is I noticed that there's a little bit of a munchkin effect going on. For your first like half dozen plays, everyone's going to be piling on the leader, and near the end of the game, whoever's in first is never going to win the game because everyone just piled on and destroyed his stuff. So the person second or third is going to end up winning the game. All right, but that's something you learn from and you'll make more strategic options later on. Other good things is I really love the catch-up mechanism, which is the Rocinante ship. All right, whoever's in last is going to control an extra ship that's going to fly around the board. It's going to give him sort of an extra ability during scoring to score extra points. So it's a pretty good catch-up mechanism that's not super powerful, but it's just enough to sort of get him back into the game. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so overall, it's a good game. Let me just talk about some of the bad things. One of the things that a couple of my plays showed is that, especially in a 4-player game, it could happen that somebody doesn't get a good display of cards when it's his turn for most of the game. I mean, it is random which cards come out, and especially at 4 players, a ton of the cards are rotating out here, so it's really rare that it happens, but it could. It is also hard to catch up in this game. I mean, unless everyone's piling on the same people, but if you're in last in a 4-player game, it's hard for everyone to pile up on the other 3 players. So if you're behind 15-16 points halfway through the game, it's pretty much impossible to catch up. So you just feel like you're going through the motions, but do your best and you'll have a better time in your following game. All right. That being said, the game is really strategic and it rewards strategic play. You're only going to have between 10 and 13 actions during the game. So, sometimes it's not how many cubes you have on the board, but where you put your cubes that gives you the biggest gain. So I really like that aspect of the game. So overall, I'm going to give it a 4 on 6 just because the production is just that bad. Hopefully a deluxe version comes out eventually at some point to really give this game some justice. But you should seek it out and give it a shot. So my playthrough's coming up. I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. Alright, so welcome to the playthrough to the Expanse. So this is a card driven game, so we're gonna have our lineup of cards over here. On your turn you're gonna be taking a card or playing a card, so on and so on. If you've never played before, follow along. I'll teach you how it plays, and I'll go through the strategies for the first probably bonus level, and then after that I'll try to speed up the game as we go. So I'm going to be playing a 3-player game just to speed it up a little. I'll be Mars playing against the UN and the OPA. Alright, and I'm going to be first player. So at the start of the game, you're going to see here the initiative track. The first player is going to go at the bottom, and third player is going to go at the top, and this is going to sort of tell us who's going to control the events, but I'll get to that later in the video. Alright, so I'm up first. Nobody starts with any cards, so we're going to go look straight at the card row over here. And what you really need to know is the cost of the card is over here, and the cost is victory points. Right, so at the end of the game, whoever has the most victory points is going to win the game. Alright, but there's sort of a battle between taking the cards you really want, which are going to cost you victory points, and getting more victory points. Alright, so let's look at these cards. Alright, so for 0 I can take this one, or for 1 I can take this one, so on and so on and so on. Now, a couple of rules. If your faction symbol does not appear on the card, you can only take the card for the AP on the top right. Right? If your faction does appear on the card, then you can either do it for the AP or use it for the event. Alright, or you can keep the card for a future round. I'm going to show you how that works with the UN's turn. They're probably going to take this card. Alright, so what I'm going to do right off the start here is I'm going to take this card here. Okay, so that's going to cost me 0 CP because it's on the 0. Now what does this say? So I can either spend 3 AP or use it to get 3 AP, or I can use it for the event. Basically all the factions are on this card, and this one lets you do a couple things. Each player can score 2 victory points for each controlled mineral base, or place 1 influence on 2 separate mineral bases. Now I got a couple of options, right? I can technically use the 3 CP to do that type of action anyway. I can move my ship to, let's say, Eros here, and then use another action point to put a cube in here, and then maybe use another action point to put a cube in there, and I would technically get the same result, right? I would have 2 influence on 2 different bases. But if I do it that way, then somebody else will be able to trigger the bottom part over here, right? But you know what, I think I'm okay with that because I want to show you how it works and I really want to move my ships closer to the middle of the board. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the card for the AP in the top right, so that's what I'm going to do first. Alright, and then we'll deal with the event in a couple of seconds. Alright, so I got 3 action points. What can you spend your action point on? Well, putting influence is an action point, building a ship is an action point, and moving your ships is an action point. So basically I just taught you all the ways to use your action point. Alright, so what I'm going to do is my first action point is moving a ship or a group of ships from one band to another band. The band is where you see these thick lines on the board. So I'm going to move this ship into the belt band. All right, and then you get to pick which orbital it's going to go into, and I think I'm going to go to Eros over here. All right, that was 1 action point. I have 2 more. Next action point, I'm going to put some influence on Eros. Pretty easy. My next action point, well, my last one, is I'm going to put an influence on Ceres. All right, so where you can put influence is only where you have a ship. You can't put influence randomly anyway. That's one way to get around it, is through the events like this one lets you just put out some wherever you want. Alright, so there you go. I'm pretty much done. Now, whenever somebody uses the card for the AP, you're going to look at the initiative, and other players can actually trigger the event. You're going to go in the order of the initiative and you ask them if they want to do it. Alright, so for this one, for example, you're going to ask the OPA, do they want to do this? And they're going to say, sure, why not? So they're going to trigger the event, and we already know the event is putting 1 influence on 2 different mineral planets. So they're going to get 2 of their influence, and I think they're going to bolster their lead in Ceres here, and they're going to also, it's a mineral planet, so they can pretty much put it anyway, and I think they're going to go to Marner Valley right over here. Alright, the reason why, just to give you some thoughts, the OPA is putting influence in the inner planets is because by default they don't even, their special powers, they don't need a ship to put any influence in any of the belt or outer planet bases, right? They only need ships on the inner planet, so any opportunity they have to put cubes in the inner planet would be pretty good. Alright, so now that we're done, we're just going to toss this into this card. I'm just going to toss it up there. Alright, and then we're just going to slide everything over. we're gonna reveal the next card, and then you're gonna move on to the next player. All right, so you sort of get the gist of what you're doing. Now, the other options, so you have three options, all right? So the first one was using the AP on a card. The second one was to play the event. And the third option was to actually keep the card in your hand and not play it. But that's going to cost you 1 CP or victory point to do that. All right, I'm going to show you how that works right now. So the next player is blue. All right, they're going to look at this track over here. All right, and the card they're going to keep is Miller. All right, because this card's pretty awesome. All right, what they're going to do is, because they're blue and the UN, they're able to play the event here. And this one says keep this card at no CP cost, because normally it would cost you 1 CP. And by the way, for them it's free because that's their special power. This one's free for them. They don't have to pay 1. Right? And in the future they can use this card to do the AP and the event. Alright, so this is a pretty good card. So they're going to keep this in their hand. I'm just going to put it up here just as a reminder. Let's just put it here. Alright, there you go. So that was their turn. Pretty simple. Just going to move everything over. So when somebody takes it for the event, there's no reaction. Only when there's a AP card taken, that's when you react to the card. Alright, so let's go to the next one. So now it's the OPA's turn, so they're going to look down the line here. So this one is pretty good. Remove one opponent fleet from an orbital where you have a fleet. So this is like a battle. So what they can do is look on the board and sort of eliminate my fleet over here if they liked, or eliminate me or blue there, so on and so on. They can do a bunch of things. This one is calculate any players kept execute any players kept event. So this is the way to play the card that somebody else kept. We already know what blue kept, so it's kind of pointless right now because it's not beneficial. Do one of Rocinante's crew actions if you control the Rocinante. They do control the Rocinante, so they can do this if they wanted to. And then there's Bobby Draper. So, but when you're getting down here, it's going to cost you more and more victory points. So maybe they don't want to go that far. All right. So looking at this, I think what they're going to do is, I think because the ability here is kind of pointless, because nobody has a kept card that's pretty useful. What they're going to do is use this card just for the AP. All right. So they're going to do the AP. So what do they want to do? Let's see, they're gonna use their ability, right? So one thing I forgot to mention at the start of the video is if you look at the top right over here, this is sort of gonna tell you what you're striving to gain as your planets, because you get bonuses if you're winning those kind of planets during scoring. Right, so and here also you'll see what their special ability is, and for the OPA, you can spend 1 AP to place an influence on any belt or outer planet base, no fleet required. Once per turn. Right? Alright, but since they want green and water, what they're going to do is they're going to use 4 AP and they're just going to go crazy and put a ton of influence on the board. Alright? So they need water, so 1. They're going to try to get a lot of the outer planets solidified and maybe get the bonus card so they'll score a ton of points here. So what they're going to do is they're going to go 1, 2, 3, and let's just say let's solidify the rings. Here we go. There you go. So there you go. Done. Pretty easy. Now we're going to do the same thing as last time. We're going to go here and we're going to ask the players if they want to do this. Oh, by the way, one thing I did forget to do. Sorry. When the OPA used their the event from that card that I played, they're going to go down to the bottom of the line. Sorry about that. Alright, and this basically says execute any player's kept event. Well, we already know what that is. It's keep this card at no cost and then play an extra. So you can't really use this card on this card. It doesn't even make any sense. So basically no one's going to accept it and we're just going to toss it out. Alright, there you go, done. Ooh, a scoring card. Alright, and just like that, as you can see, we're pretty much all done one action and you're just going to keep going. So on average, you're going to play, I think, 12 turns or something, but let me get some water. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. So let's start of sort of round 2, even though there's no real rounds. I'm going to speed it up now since you know how the game works. So it's Mars' turn. So they're going to look at the display of cards. I think they're going to take the one with the most action points so they can get a lot more influence out on the board because the scoring is going to happen very soon. All right, so they're going to take the Draper card here. All right, so they have to pay 1 CP for that. So remember, you pay right away. All right, so they're going to pay 1. All right. And then they're going to use 4 AP. What are they going to do? Pretty simple. First one is add an influence here. That's 1 AP. Second one is moving a ship. Second AP. And then they're going to spend 2 more AP, putting 2 more influence. Boom. Just like that, I'm done. All right, then we're going to activate the event. So the UN will have a chance to do this event, and I think they will do it. So it says remove an opponent's non-battleship fleet. So not one of my own, obviously. Here we go. And replace it with one of your own, whether it's unbuilt or from another orbital. So what do they want to do? I think what they're going to do is destroy, because I sort of encroached in their territory, they're going to try to hit back at me. And I think what they might do is, I mean, there's no real good option here to attack me, to be fair. I think because they don't really, oh, they do care about minerals. They want minerals and they want green. So they want to stay in this area here to get some stuff on green. And they already have the green here. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to maybe destroy my ship that's here. So I'm going to put this in the destroyed fleet section here. And then they get to move one of their ships onto that spot where they destroyed my ship. And I think what they're going to do is, because this is a useless place, nobody really wants this icon, he's going to move this over here. And pretty much done. All right, we're done with the card. We have to move the United Nations down. Remember, if they activate the event, move them to the bottom. All right, slide everything over. And now it's their turn to do an action. So they're looking at this display. What should they do? So this is remove an influence or one fleet from anywhere. Alright, so what they're gonna do, it's kind of terrible, but they could use this card and nobody's gonna be able to activate the event, because actually, yeah, because the OPA has the Rocinante and they're not even on this card. Because if they use the action points of any other option here, then they might get targeted. So yeah, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna actually take the take this card. It's gonna be free for them. Remember, this card is free for the UN, and they're gonna use it for the action points. Unfortunately, it's only 2, but at least they're safe from the event and nobody's gonna use it, right? So they're gonna get 2 action points. Pretty simple. What they're gonna do? 2 action points. They're gonna add 1 here and 1 here. All right. The reason they did that is now they break ties. We're gonna talk about that during scoring, but their ships, they have a majority of ships in this orbital, so they're gonna break the ties against white. All right, so we're gonna discard this card and slide everything over. All right, now originally I was gonna plan on the OPA to take that scoring card, so because they were sort of winning all these sectors over here, but now because of that move by blue, maybe they'll wait an extra round. All right, so let's see what they can get here. There's a scoring card, there's the influence removal. They can actually do this if they want, or remove 1 fleet. They can remove that extra fleet so that they don't break each other's tie anymore. All right, so that's what he's gonna do. I think I'm gonna show you how to keep an event card. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna keep this card. All right, so first of all, it's gonna cost you 1 CP to take it. Next, it's going to cost you another CP to keep it in your hand. So that's the card that white OPA is going to keep. I'm going to slide everything over. And just like that, we did 2 full rotations. Alright, so third action for all the players, and Mars has to go. And I think I know what they're going to do. They're actually going to keep this card as a card in hand. So what they're going to do is they're going to spend 1 action point to take the card, and then, sorry, not an action point, 1 CP to take the card, and then another CP to keep the card. So I am losing a lot of points. I've already lost 3 points during the game, so I'm going to keep this in my hand. Alright, there you go. Pretty simple. Alright, so you know what, just because I want to show you how scoring works, I think blue is just gonna, or UN is just gonna take that scoring card just so I can run through it and show you how it works. And plus, they're in a pretty good position. They'll score a ton of points anyway. Alright, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna take these scoring cards. Remember, for them it is free to take this card. Alright, and then what you're gonna do during scoring is you're just gonna run through the card text. Alright, each scoring card is exactly the same, and we'll just go through it. Alright, so the first thing they're gonna do is they're going to take one of these bonus sectors in secret to decide what to score. All right, so this is going to be all secret. you know, but it's kind of obvious at the start of the game where they want to score. I think they're going to want to score the outer planets because they're going to score a ton of points from all their green sectors over here. So they're going to keep this hidden in front of them. All right, so for now, I'll just put it right over here. All right, next. Each player, starting with the player to the left of the person who took this card, so starting with OPA, you can play one of your kept events. All right, and I think that's what White is going to do. So White's going to use their card. It's remove one influence or one fleet from anywhere on the board. All right, so I think what they're going to do, one influence or one fleet. So they have a couple of options. They can either remove this fleet here, and then because they're tied, these are all going to tie, or they can just remove straight up the influence here, so they can win one, and then blue's also going to win one. You know what, they do want to get some points, and they want to get green, so they're actually going to just remove this influence from the board. Right. Their other option, actually, I did forget. Actually, you know what, they're going to do this instead. Give me that card back. Sorry about that. They're going to keep their card. So the person who has the Rocinante, you can actually use one of the 4 abilities here instead of using a card. Alright, so you can either move the Rocinante to any place on the board, you can remove one opponent fleet where the Rocinante is, you can move it one band and add a token, blah blah blah. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to get the Naomi ability, which is going to be amazing. So they're going to move the Rocinante one band, which is here. Oops, let me put that influence back that I removed. And then it says remove one opponent fleet there. So just like that, they completely reverse the tide of all the points that are going to be scored, because now they have influence of 2 in orbital, and against blue's only 1. So now they break the ties against blue here. So white's going to score a ton of points, and this gets destroyed. So that was a great move by white, and blue's going to be very sad. So this is going to just go back to his player board. All right, then I get to play a card. White had kept their card, so I'm going to play mine. It says place 1 influence on 2 bases with the same resource type. So I think what I'm going to do, just because I care about minerals and water, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on minerals and minerals. There you go. Because that's going to score me extra points. And the reason I'm doing the belt and not putting it out in here is because all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie over here, and you know, it doesn't really help me that much, so I might as well gain advantage where I can. Okay, and then blue's going to play a card, and they're not going to play their card. Okay, so next is score each base. Right, so the way scoring works is you're going to go through each base on the board. Before you do the scoring though, I did forget one thing, is you're going to actually reveal the bonus area. So it's going to be outer planets over here. So these outer planets are going to score according to the chart here, and every other place is going to score according to the chart on top. So scoring is pretty easy. Whoever has the most influence is going to score the number on the left, second most and the one in the middle, and last third most is going to be the number on the right. All right, so I'll just show you by going through all the planets the first time. Right, you do also get a bonus, remember, if you have the resource type symbol on your board. All right, so I'll just show you with all of Earth here. So blue's gonna win this one, all right, because they're unopposed, and it's a green one, and green is on their board, so they're gonna score 1 plus 1, so they're gonna score 2 points. Okay, next we're gonna go to the second place here. Now I'm gonna have more influence because by the way, the orbital, whoever has the most fleets strength in the orbital has an extra +1 influence on all the bases where they have at least 1 influence. Here automatic is 2 against 2, and I have 2 to their 1, so I'm gonna win. All right, so I'm gonna win. I have water on my board, so it's gonna be the same thing, 1 plus 1, so I'm gonna get 2 points. 1 2, and you just move your way down. So nobody has this one, so you skip it. Right, this one I win 2 to 1, no fleet stuff, so I'm gonna score 2 points. Remember, I have minerals and water as my things. This is gonna score me 2 points. This is going to score me only 1 point, so only the 1 point there. no bonuses because nobody has this squiggly line on any of their bonuses over here. Alright, and that was the inner planets. Then you just keep going over. So this one we'll skip. This one, again, I'm going to score 2 points because it's a mineral. 14. This one, OPA is going to score 1 point because this is not one of their special ones. Right. Next, we're going to go to this one. I'm going to score 2 points again because it's a mineral. Right. And this one, right, I believe I scored 2 points because I do have the bigger strength than white in this area, but I have to double check the rules for that. So I'll just give myself 2 points for that. So I'm really out in front right here. And now we're going to score the outer planets where you're going to use the chart over here. All right, so let's go through all of them and we'll score there. So the top one up here is going to be me. I'm going to win that because I'm unopposed, and it's a water planet, which I have a water planet. So technically it's going to be 2 plus 1, so it's going to be 3 points. There you go. All right, next we're going to go to Gadamine, and it's the exact same thing. So the tiebreaker is going to be the fleet. So they have 1 each. So it's going to be 2 because the Rocinante works with white this round until the Rocinante changes hands. So it's going to be 2 fleet against 1. So it's going to be OPA scoring 3 and 3 over here. So they're going to score 6 in total. All right, that takes care of that. And then we're going to move down here. And same thing. So blue is going to score a 3 here because it's going to be 2 plus 1 because they want green. And down here it's going to be 3 and 3, so 6 points for white. Boom, and there you go, done. So that was the scoring. Next, we're going to gain faction tech. You're going to see over here that for the first 3 scoring, you're going to gain your first tech card. So if every player has 3 tech cards, you're going to take your first one and put it next to your player board, and this is some special ability that all the players have from now on. The Mars one breaks ties in the fleets. The blue one is about getting the 3 special diplomat cubes, which count as 2 influence each. And the OPA is about getting these scrap ships that add half a fleet to break ties in the air. Alright, so there you go. Next, everyone could build 1 fleet if they have 1 to be built. So I do have 1, and it has to go to your main orbital. So Mars has to build it here, Earth has to build it here, but I believe these guys have a special rule. Let me double check that. I think they can build it in their home or anywhere else. Well, for now let's just put it there and I'll deal with it later if I need to move it. Alright, and then you do one more thing. Alright, determine the Rocinante control. Well, who's in last? It's blue. So the Rocinante ship now belongs to blue. Alright, so he's basically now it switches hands. Alright, so now the Rocinante is going to work with blue and not white. Alright, and then you're going to get rid of this card. There you go. That was a mouthful, but you sort of get how scoring works. We're going to flip it all over. Let's do the OPA's turn. Alright, so which card do they want? I think the card they're going to take is this one because I really like this card. So they're going to pay 1 to take it, and then they're going to keep it by paying 1 because then they can use it in the future for a 4 AP cost card. Actually, wait. But the AP is pretty good on it. So many choices, so many choices. Yeah, sure, let's do that. I don't want to waste too much time. So they're gonna pay 2 CP, 1 for the cost and 1 to keep it. They're gonna keep this in their hand. Slide everything over. Oh, another scoring card. So just like that, we did 3 revolutions. All right, here we go. Next turn. So Mars is gonna go up next. They're gonna look at this display of cards. And you know, originally I would have loved to have played this card, but unfortunately my faction does not appear there. Actually, none of these cards have my faction on it, which is pretty terrible. So I can't even look at any of the faction abilities, so don't even look at them. We're just looking at the AP action points, and you know, the one that I'm gonna use is basically the one that I fear the ability less, because those are gonna probably affect me. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually take this card for the AP cost. So it's gonna cost me 1 CP to take. All right. I'm gonna have 3 AP to move stuff or add stuff to the game board. Let's see. I do want to maybe set up for the scoring card, and maybe I'll score the middle here, which might not be a bad idea. So what I think I'm gonna do is, alternatively I could put a bunch of stuff in here, but you know what, I'll just relinquish control of Saturn because I don't really care about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 1 here, so that's 1 AP out of 3. My next AP is gonna be placing it, because there is a couple of that I fear that might affect me. Oh man, this is gonna hurt. Oh boy. I do have to protect arrows from blue, so I'm gonna put my second one in there. What I'm gonna do, my third one, is I'm actually gonna put in here. So I just want to really solidify the belt, because probably one of those 2 cards are really gonna affect me next or this turn. So I played the AP. Now we're gonna read the text. All right. So it says place 1 influence on Mars base. If you have orbital control, you may also remove 1 influence. I think the OP is not that interested in this card, so they're gonna leave it for blue, and blue will do it. And guess what? They're gonna do it and move their action marker down, which doesn't need to go down anymore. So basically it just says put a marker on Mars. They're gonna take one of their markers, they're gonna put on Mars, and you know what? They do want to win here, so they're actually gonna go in here. They're just gonna see if they can catch up, because they don't really care about this symbol. They care about minerals and the green. Actually, you know what? They are gonna put it here. Maybe there's a chance for them to remove this, and then they'll have full control. All right, so this is done. Get rid of it. Slide everything over. All right, and now blue is gonna go UN. So UN is looking at all of these options here, and I think what they're gonna do is be very strategic. Is they're gonna use their card now. So remember, on their turn, you can either play a card from your hand or deal with the display, but this one lets them do both. All right, so this one says basically take a card for both its action points and its text. All right, so let's get rid of this card. And I think the card that they want to take is this one here. All right, and what this lets them do is, by the way, it's free for them, remember, because the 0, they get 3 action points, and then they get to remove 2 influence from a single base. All right, so perfect. So 3 action points. What do they want to do? I think they're definitely going to try to put out their huge cubes here. So 3 action points. So the first action point, I think, is to move a ship over to where do they want to go? They want to go somewhere in the belt here. Or do they gain control of the outside here? No, they want to sort of stop me from gaining too much control over the belt. So what they're going to do is they're going to move one of their ships from Earth, 1 band. So that's going to be 1 action point. I think they're going to go to... No, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go to Vesta. All right, they're going to go there. Their second action point is to drop off a cube, a large one. So that counts as 2 influence. All right, so they're beating me there. And I think what they're going to do with their other action point is to sort of put one of these out here, down here. All right, so they have a bit of everything all over the place, so they're going to be okay. All right, and what they're going to do with the bottom part, it says remove 2 influence from a single place. Where should they do that? I think what they're going to do is attack Mars. And they can either take it from here, take it from here, take it from here. I think what they're going to do is take it from here. Done. So Mars just lost 2 from their home planet. All right, and then they get to discard the card. Slide everything over. Alright, so now it's the OPA's turn. So which card do they want to do? So they can use basically any of these cards. So this one lets them remove one opponent fleet, not interesting. This one is 4 AP, which is really good. But if they do this, then they know for sure blue will activate this part. And you know what, actually wait, because that card was out there, blue would obviously not target this place to remove 2 cubes. I think they're going to remove 2 cubes from let's say here. Done. Right? Because I'll show you what OPA is going to do. They're going to actually take this card for the action points. So they got 4 action points. Pretty good. So what they're going to do is spread the love. So what do they care about? They care about green and blue. Green and blue. There's literally no green and blue in the belt. So they don't care about the belt. They want to sort of stay in the outer regions over here, because a lot of green and a lot of blue are out here. So they put out 1 already. They're going to put 2 more out in the blue over here. And they got 1 more action point. And you know what they're going to do with their action point? They're actually going to move their ship down here into Mars. Alright. There you go. Maybe they'll gain control of one of these regions over here. Actually, green and blue would be better over there. So you know what? Instead of putting it here, they're going to go up here to Earth. Alright. Done. So they did the action points. Now we're going to go read the text. Obviously, it's only for blue and white. It's going to skip me. So it's going to be blue. They're going to activate it. Why not? It says remove 1 influence from each Mars base. Place 1 of your influence on any Earth base. So they're going to take it from here. And take it from there. Done. And then they get to put an influence anywhere on Earth. So I think what they're going to do is place it on. They care about green and minerals. So they're going to go back on the green section up there. And done. That card's done. And there you go. We did 4 revolutions. Alright, so I did actually forget to pay the 1 CP when white took that card. Sorry about that. Let's start the next turn. So again, it's Mars' turn, and looking at this display, I think they're going to take the action point card here for the action points. So that's going to be 4 action points, so they got to pay 1 for that. Can't forget about that. So what do I want to do with their 4 action points? I think I'm going to start regaining control of the belt, because it's pretty important for what Mars is trying to do. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to add 1 here. So that's going to be 1 action point here. And then I think what they're going to do is, do they want to leave Earth? No, I think they want to stay in Earth right now just to break the tie here. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to move this fleet up here to Vesta. So that's 2 action points. So I got 2 action points left, and I think what I'm going to do is add 1 here and add another one. Let's see, I care about minerals and water. So I think I'm going to add 1 to Titan. And the reason I do that is because I break ties, my special ability there. I break ties against white, so that's why I put it there. Alright, and basically that was it. Now we're going to activate the text. So again, it's going to be blue. So blue keeps getting free activations because OPA is not even on this card. And here it says select a base, draw the top card of the deck, remove influence equal to the AP. If it's a scorecard, remove all influence from the card and put the scorecard back on top. Alright, so they got to pick a base, and you know what, just to attack me again, because they're annoyed by me, they're going to try to clear me out of arrows. They're going to select arrows. I'm going to flip a card over. It's a 2. I'm not sure if this gets discarded. It's not really clear. Let's just discard it. Who cares? So I get to remove 2 influence from arrows. Alright, slide everything over. Another scoring card. Wow. Alright, so now it's going to be UN Blue's turn. Alright, so are they in a good position to cause a scoring right now? If they go cause a scoring in the outer regions again, they'll score a ton of points. They'll be first. But maybe they'll wait an extra round. What else? In this section over here, they're only in 1, or not even, they're still losing that one. So they definitely don't want to go for the belt. But they also could go for the inner planets, where they're going to be winning 1, 2. They could technically win this one here. Actually, no, there's no way for them to win this one. So it's, again, only 2. So what other options do they have? So they have 1, remove an opponent's fleet. Move some of your ships, not that great. Or put 1 influence on an Earth base. If you have, actually they can't even take this card because their symbol's not even there. All right, so oh boy, I don't think they want to take this scoring card. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna just keep this card. So they're gonna pay 0 CP plus 1 CP to keep this card. All right, and they're gonna keep it in their supply. All right, next, slide everything over and get things ready for white. So does white want to cause a scoring? They're gonna win here, they're gonna lose here. White doesn't want to cause a scoring either, so oh boy, so what does this one say? It says place 1 influence on an Earth base. If you have an Earth orbital control, you may also remove 1 influence from the Earth base. And they know that I'm gonna target blue with this card, so what they're actually gonna do is they're gonna pay 1 CP to do the action point over here. So they're gonna keep this one. So they're gonna pay 1 CP, and they get 3 action points. All right, so what do they want to do? I think what they're gonna do is try to gain more control. So they want water and green. They're gonna go here. Oh man, they might want to go scoring next round because they're gonna gain a ton of points everywhere. Actually, they're winning here. They're winning here. Actually, they're gonna go here. So they're winning here, here. Actually, they don't. Yeah, they need water too. I mean, they can get full control of all Saturn, but then they're gonna run out of influence cubes, and they have to sort of destroy their own influence cubes to get out of there. So instead of that, let's see, they need water and green. Water and green. Oh boy. I don't think they have a choice. They gotta keep just piling on cubes up here. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna actually move their scrapper ship. Actually, no. Okay. Just to move this along here. They're gonna come here. No, because they don't care about that symbol. Ah! All their symbols are on the outside or on Earth. So you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna move the scrapper ship here. And then they're gonna add 1 to Africa and 1 to Eurasia. Alright, so that was their 3 action points. And then Mars is gonna activate this, so they're gonna move to the bottom of the line. It says place 1 influence on Earth base if you have Earth orbital control, which they do, because remember, my special ability is I break all ties with my fleets, which we're tied now with 2 and 2. It says you may also remove 1 influence from Earth. Alright, so I get to place 1 and remove 1, and I care about water and minerals, so I'm just going to keep piling on into the water sector here, and I'm going to actually return White's cube back, because they got way too many cubes out on the board. Alright, and then we're done with this card. Alright, there you go. Another revolution done. Maybe I'm going to cause a scoring now, because maybe I'm going to want to score the belt. I'll double check. Alright, so 5th revolution here. I think I'm going to take a scoring card because I don't want to waste any more CP. So I'm going to take the scoring card. Alright, I get to control where the scoring is going to be. I think I am going to score the middle because I'm going to gain 3 different spots, and that might be good. So I'm going to take the belt. I'm going to keep the secret. Alright, so now again, just like before, all players starting to the left of me can play an event, and then it goes around. Blue has the Rocinante tile, so I think they're going to use Holden's ability to add an influence anywhere. And what they're going to do, they're going to be tricky. They're going to add their double influence to Eros, which sort of sucks for me. Okay, then we're going to go to the OPA. Let's see which card they want to play. Remove an influence or a fleet from anywhere. Sure, they're going to play that card. So they can remove an influence or a fleet from anywhere. What do they want to do? They care about water and green. I mean, they're pretty sure blue's going to score a ton of points, so they can remove blue's cube right over here so that they can score the extra point here. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to take this and chuck it back to blue. Then it comes to me. I don't have any events to play, so I skip that step. And next we're going to score. And before we score, we're going to put this out on the board. Alright, so the belt is going to score extra points. So let's score like we normally score. So the first one here, so the overall control over here is going to be actually red. Alright, so red has the most, so they're going to have +1 influence on the board. but if red's not there, then they don't get +1. So the top one here is going to be blue's going to win. So they're going to get 2 points. Remember, they get the bonus points for the green here. So 1, 2. Next one is red's going to win here. So that's going to be 2 points as well because blue is on their sheet. So 2 points for orange. Or yeah, nobody scores here. All right, now we're going to score here. Now, again, the biggest fleet is going to give +1 influence here. So actually orange wins this straight up. So it's going to be 2 points again. Then here blue's going to gain a point. All right, so let's score this before we score the belt because that's extra points and it's a little complicated. So the top one here is going to be white wins it outright. So they're going to win. Let's see. Blue is part of their card, so they're going to score 2 points for white. They're going to score a ton of points here. Actually, this one's going to be blue. So blue's going to score 2 points. This one's going to be white again. Actually, full control here is blue. So they technically get 2. Okay, so look at this. So they actually tie. So the orbital control is blue because they control the Rocinante. So they get a +1 influence here. So the influence here is actually 2 to 2. So if they tie, they drop down 1 level, so nobody gets a point. So that gets skipped. All right, then here, white's gonna get 2 points. They're gonna get another 2 points here. And then here they're gonna tie, which means nothing. So white's gonna get 4 points. Boom, just like that. All right, so the outer planets are done. Now let's do the inner planets. All right, so over here, it's gonna be, okay, so it's gonna be 3 + 1. It's gonna be 4 points for orange here because they break the tie. They have the biggest fleet because the Tech 1 card. So it's gonna be 4 points here for red. Red or orange, whichever color you like better. All right, the tiebreaker here is the exact same thing. So it's gonna be 4 points again. That's pretty good. And then here's gonna be 1 point for white. Here's going to be 4 points for blue. And here's going to be nothing. All right, there you go. Done. We actually get our second tech card, and the second tech card is the exact same for all the players. It's just open warfare, so you can spend 2 AP to remove a fleet from where you already have a fleet. There you go, once per turn. Right, so everyone's going to get that card. All right, next everyone can return a fleet. So that's going to happen like that. And then we're going to see who controls the Rocinante. It's going to stay with blue. So we're good. Should remove that card. And there you go, done. So I did that during orange's turn. So now it's going to be blue's turn. So blue can actually activate a scoring as well right now. So back-to-back scoring. Do they want to do that though? They do have the Rocinante, so they can add an influence somewhere on the board before it scores. So they can score a ton of points. Let's see. I mean, they can score the inner planets again. Add influence anywhere, so they can gain control of another place. They don't have any more of the bigger cubes though. Those are already out on the board. Sure, not to drag this out again. Sure, let's actually, what does this do? Actually, they're gonna take this card for the action points. Why not? So they're gonna take this card. It's gonna cost them 1 CP, and they're gonna get 4 action points. So what do they want to do? I think they want to solidify their minerals and their green. So what they're going to do is they're going to put 1 here. 1. They're going to move their fleet. Actually, they're going to put 2. 3. You know what? Just you know, they're gonna move this fleet here because they're not gonna win that, and they're gonna move it down here. There you go, that was 4. So they can sort of add more stuff to Eros later on. So that's done. Now we're gonna activate the ability here. So this one is place 1 influence in 1 base each of the inner planets, belt, and outer planets, which is a huge ability. So for sure OPA is gonna do it. So they're gonna get to put 3 influence, which is all their 3 left influence. They get to put 1 in each of the 3 sectors. All right, so obviously what they're gonna do is they're gonna go here to beat me here. Actually, do they care about that? They care about white and green. Sorry, water and green. See, these are not interesting for them, so they're actually gonna go here. In the middle here, there's actually nothing that's interesting for them. So I think they're gonna go just here so they can beat me here. And then in the outside here, I think they're gonna go here to re-beat actually wait, they're still gonna lose. Darn, they're still gonna lose there. They're gonna go over here so they can beat me here. Done. So that's that card. Alright, now it's gonna be White's turn. And White has an interesting decision. They're winning a lot of stuff here, but they sort of want to wait for the scoring to be a lot higher before they score this. So I think what they're going to do is, let me double check, although this, if they take one of these 2 cards, it's going to cost them 2 CPs. They can't use this card for the event, but they can use this card for the event. And what does it say? Each player scores 2 CP for each controlled water base. Ooh, that's good for them because they control a ton of water bases. Alright, so that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna spend 2 CP for this. 1, 2. You know what? They're gonna activate the ability. Alright, so each player scores 2 PvP for each water base. There you go. So they control 1, 2, 3 water base, so that's 6 points, right? And now the only other water base on the field is here, and red's gonna score 2 points, or orange, or whatever. There we go, and we're done. All right, so here we go. So next sort of revolution of all the turns. So red's turn. Now red has a choice. Do they really want to cause a scoring again? They would prefer to get more influence out on the board here. They can sort of do it for the inner planets. They'll score max for 2 different regions. It's not a bad idea, although getting an influence at least here, maybe to break ties, they'll score an extra point. Sure, why not? Just to get the game moving along here. Actually, you know what they're going to do? Instead, they're going to actually take this card. So that's going to cost them 2 CP. And this card, they're actually going to use it for the CP cost because they're not afraid of this. It's just moving fleets. Alright, so they're going to put 4 influence out on the board. So let me put out 4. I think what they're going to do is they're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there you go. Alright. And now the ability, blue, I don't think they're going to trigger this, is to move their fleets, but I think they're happy where their fleets are right now. They don't want to lose their position on the initiative track, so we're just going to toss that. Alright, then we're going to go flip it over, and now it's blue's turn. Alright, what does blue want to do? What does blue want to do? I don't know what blue wants to do. Let's see, what does this do? Ooh, this one's pretty good. Yeah, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna pay 2. Actually, do they want to pay 2? My god, it gets expensive. What does this one do? Oh man. Oh man, I guess they got no choice. They're gonna pay 2 to take this card. And this one says remove 1 influence from 3 different bases from 3 different bands. Alright, so they're going to use it for the event. So when you use it for the event, you're going to toss the card. So they get to remove 3 cubes in 3 different bands. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to go 1, from that band, 2 from that band, and they're gonna attack me on this side here. 3 from that band. There you go. Done. And now it's gonna be white's turn, and what do they want to do? So this one is remove 1 influence from 2 bases with the same resource type. Perform a 1 AP action. That is pitiful, 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 pitiful. Yeah. All right. You know what? They're gonna cause a scoring. Why not? So they're gonna pick the scoring card. Which one do they want to score? At this point, they're white. They're gonna get screwed no matter what. I think they're gonna pick the outer sector. Why not? Although they can pick the inner sector so that he'll get more points for the outer sector in the following few rounds. All right, so you know what? He's gonna pick the inner sector. Maybe that's a strategy because you sort of don't want to score your sector when it's the low points. Now he's gonna go to the 5 and the 4. Sorry, the 4-pointer. Maybe that'll be better for him. All right, so he's gonna pick the inner sector. He won't win anything, but at least it'll be up there, and then the next one that scores will be sort of more points. Actually, that sounds like a dumb idea. So let's put that back. Let's pick the outer planets. Sure, why not? Let's just secure those points, and then we'll figure out what we want to do later. All right, so he's gonna score. So like usual, you pick the token. Then we're gonna do events. So I get to play event first. I don't have any. Then blue gets to go. Well, he controls the Rocinante, so he gets to add an influence anywhere on the board as one of his abilities. And I think what he's gonna do is gonna place it here because that's gonna score him extra points. Duh. All right, and then white's gonna go, and actually they should have played this card, but let him play that next time. All right, so they're not gonna play a card, and now we're gonna score. So we're gonna put the outer band up here, and now let's score. All right, so here it's gonna be the overall lead is red, so we're gonna score here, and it's gonna be blue winning, so they're gonna score 2 points for blue. Here's gonna be 2 points for red. Here's gonna be 1 point. Here's gonna be 2 points. Here's gonna be 1 point. Let's score the middle here. Here's gonna be 2 points for orange. Here's gonna be 2 points for orange. Okay, I think I'm running away with this for some odd reason. Here's gonna be 1 for white. Here is gonna be 2 for blue. Here's nothing. All right, and hopefully this is where they catch up. So down here, this is gonna be 4 points for white. Actually, no, wait. Oh no, I break ties. It's true, I break ties. That's my special ability. So technically we're tied here. So we're gonna drop down and we're both gonna get 1 point. 1, 1. All right. This is gonna be 3 plus 1, 4 points. All right. This is gonna be 4 points. Wow, that was pretty good for just one little dinky influence there. This is gonna be blue has the most, so they're gonna gain 4 points here. Here's going to be again 4 points, and then here is going to be 4 points for white. Oh wow, it is closer than I thought it was going to be. All right, but all the outer planet tokens have come out. Now we're going to deal with the belt and inner planets. All right, so that was another revolution. Now it's going to be orange's turn. All right, so here we go. New revolution here. I think orange is going to look at the display. And I think the one they want to do is the 4 action points, even though they're probably going to get targeted with the bottom part. They're okay with that because then blue gets to the bottom. So they're going to take the card. All right, oops. And basically get 4 action points for that. And I think they're going to mess around with blue because blue sort of was messing around with them. And they're going to use their Tech 3 card that they just unlocked. By the way, I forgot to do that when we did the scoring 3. We unlocked our 3 tech. And the red one is I can destroy ships for 1 action point as long as I have a ship there. So let's go ship hunting. All right, so 1 action point. Let's blow up the ship. 1. Second action point, move this ship here. Third action point, blow up another blue ship. And then another action point is, let me put out an influence out on the board somewhere. Let's add another action, point in there. All right, there you go. So now we're going to do the bottom part. And I think blue will activate it, sort of to get back at me. So it says remove one influence on two bases with the same resource type. So I think they're going to pick minerals. So what they're going to do is they're going to remove one of here and one here. Probably. Or do they want to solidify their outside belt? Actually, wait. Let me double check. They can do green. Or they can do... They care about green and minerals. No, this is probably their best bet. They're going to remove these two from me. Alright, there you go. That was my turn. Now it's going to be the UN's turn. So what do they want to do? Let's look at this board here. I think what they're going to do... Oh, by the way, I did forget to pay 1 AP for that card, I believe. Did I pay for it? Probably not. Alright, they're going to take another card there, so they're going to pay 1 AP for that. They're going to play this for the AP because the the action is to perform 1 AP, so they'll gain 2 AP from it. So they're going to gain 3 AP. What do they want to do? I mean, they can put ships. Okay, so 1 AP to get a ship back on the board. Second AP is to... Let's see. What do they want to do? I think they're gonna move their ship to... They're gonna have to re-get into these areas here. So they're gonna re-go over there. And then their third... Actually, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be a little strategic. They're gonna come over here to Thoth, even though it's nothing special. They're gonna add an influence here just because this will just score them extra points. Alright, so pretty much that was their 3 action points. They put in a ship, they moved their ship, they added an influence. Now, either Mars or the OPA can get 1 free action point. It's not bad for me. I can destroy a ship for 1 action point. Is that what I want to do? Sure, let me activate it anyway. So I'm going to go down here. I get 1 action point. Let me add an influence, and I think I'm going to go up here just so I can break the tie against blue. Alright, there you go. That was my turn. We're going to move this down. And now it's going to be the OPA's turn. They're going to look at the card display. So what do they want to do? Okay, so what they're going to do, they're going to use their card. Alright, so it says discard this to treat any AP on an action card as a 4. Alright, so is there even 4 things they want to do? Oh, they'll figure something out. They're going to take this. They're going to treat this like it was a 4. There you go. So what do they want to do? I think what they're going to do is they got 4 action points. Let me just toss this out right now. I mean, they can just keep solidifying their outer planets, even though it's not going to score them extra points at the end of the game. Remember, they are worth a ton of points. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 3, and they don't really care about this sector. They're gonna move it over here. 4. There you go. That was their 4 action points, and nobody's gonna use the text on that card, so it's fine. So we'll slide everything down. Alright, here we go. So now it's Mars's turn. I think it's obvious. I'm just gonna take the scoring card, and I'm gonna want to score the belt, I guess. Sure, let's score the belt. Let's go to the belt. So I'm gonna take that in secret. Now we all get to play an event card. I don't have any, but blue is gonna use their special Rocinante tile. So what do they want to do? thing what they're gonna do, they can add an influence anywhere, and you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna add it right here just so they can get the points from me. All right, there you go, done. The other player doesn't have any either. We're gonna go on to the next one. It's the score each base. All right, so I picked the belt. All right, so let's score the outer planets first. All right, so these are gonna use normal scoring. So we're gonna go here. It's gonna be Europa. It's gonna be 2 points for white. Boom. Down here, so blue has the Rocinante. Well, they get a added influence here and here, so they're gonna win this and this. So they're gonna score 2 and 2, so 4 points. Very tight. Then we're gonna go here. So here it's gonna be actually I'm winning the overall battle here because I break ties. So this is gonna be a tie. So a tie is gonna be 0 points. Then they're gonna score 2 points here, and we're tied here again. So they're just gonna score 2, and there's gonna score 0 for everyone. So 2 for white. All right, now let's score the inner planets. So up here it's gonna be blue, 2 points. Right here it's gonna be red, 2 points. Here's gonna be red, 1 point. Here it's gonna be red, 2 points. Here's gonna be blue, 1 point. All right, and now let's get to the big points. All right, so down here, unopposed, pretty simple, straight up 4 points for blue. Boom. All right, here, blue's gonna win again because even though I get +1 influence, they have 3 against 2. 3 against, yeah, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 points again. Actually, they get 5 because that's part of their +1 points. That's pretty good. Here is gonna be again straight up 4 points for white. All right. Then here for both of these, it is going to be orange that wins because I break the tie over here because of my ship tech, and I have the +1 influence here, so I'm going to win that one too. So that's going to be 5 + 5, 10 points. Boom, just like that. My turn is done. All right, so the game's going to last as soon as the 2 more scoring cards come out. It's going to end the game. All right, so that was my turn. Let's get rid of that scoring card. So now it's going to be the UN's turn. Let's look at these cards. Race. So here's place up to 3 influence on bases where you have orbital control. You have orbital control here. Oh, I forgot. After that, sorry, you have to re-give out the Rocinante tile, and this time it's going to go to white. So technically, whoop, he joins the white's team. That's funny. So blue can add stuff to Earth and Thought because those are the only ones where they have control. Oh, and they also get to return their fleet. Sorry about that. What else can they do? Remove 1 influence from each player. You know, they're gonna do this ability here. So it's place up to 3 influence on bases where you have orbital control, but not more than 1 per base. I think they only care about this one and this one. There you go, done. Pretty simple. Slide everything over. It's gonna be the OPA's turn. They got no influence to play, so they want to play something that removes stuff. But maybe they're gonna go for open warfare to start destroying some ships. Remove 1 influence from each player, including you, from a different base. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna pay 2 CP to keep this card because that's a pretty good card. So 1, 2, and they're gonna keep this card. There you go. Slide everything over. Ooh, another scoring card. So, okay. So just a special rule in the game. This is the 5th scoring card, which is fine. But if the 6th one gets turned over, it ends the game right away. Even though the 5th score was not done, it just ends the game. Alright, so for Mars' turn, I think it's going to be quite obvious. They're going to keep this card. So they're going to take this card, and they're going to pay 1 CP to keep it in their hand. Alright. Slide everything over. Alright, now we're going to do the UN's turn. So what does UN want to do? They have no influence to place. They can't play this ability. They can't play this ability. They don't really need to play the AP. I mean, none of these are great for them, to be honest. Blah, blah. Alright, I think they're gonna just play this card, so it removes influence. So it says remove one influence from each player, including you, from a different base. Alright, so they're gonna start removing influence. So what they're gonna do is gonna remove a white one here. Alright, then they gotta remove a red one. I think they're gonna remove a red one from a couple of choices, either here or here. I think what they're gonna do, because it has to be different bases. I think what they're gonna do is remove it from here, their own, and then for red, they can either remove it here or remove it here. I think they're gonna remove it here because they're winning here anyway, 3-1. So they're gonna remove this one. Pretty much that's their turn. Now it's the OPA's turn. Let's see, what do they want to play? 2 fleet, 2 bands. I think they're gonna play 1 CP to keep this. No, they already have a card, and you can only play 1 card during scoring. So you know what? They're gonna pay 1 to do the ability of here. So it gets to remove 1 influence from an outer planet's base. So they're gonna pay 1 CP for that, which is not great for them. They get to remove 1 influence from out here, and I think what they're gonna do is remove the big chunky blue one. Go away. Yeah, so now they'll gain both of those. So basically they gain all of Jupiter right now. Alright, so that's good. Yeah, because they gain all of these anyway, so that's good. So now we're gonna slide these over, and boom, just like that we triggered the end of the game because all 6 scoring cards have been revealed. Alright, well, for endgame scoring, it works exactly the same as regular scoring, except you're going to follow the endgame points here for all the planets on the board. Okay, so we still get to do these special abilities from the cards. So starting from the left of the person with the Rocinante, so it's going to be red, then blue, then white. Blue doesn't have, actually blue does have one. So I'm going to play mine first. It says add 2 influence to a belt or Jupiter base. So I get to put 2 influence to a belt or Jupiter base. I'm gonna lose anything in Jupiter anyway, so I think what I'm gonna do is add 1 here so I can break a tie there, and then I'm gonna add 1 over here so I can break a tie there. Done. Alright, so blue's gonna play their last card. It says remove 1 fleet where you have a fleet. I think what they're gonna do is, doesn't really matter, won't affect anything here. They're still losing there and they're still winning there. They sort of wish they had a fleet in a better place, but I think they're gonna remove the white one, so that one's gonna be gone. And then white, as their last abilities, they can either play this one or this one. This is to remove influence from a base. I don't think they want to play that. I think they're going to use this ability here to add an influence. And where can they go to get more points? I mean, no matter where they go, even if they're in second place, they'll get 3 points. So this is like a 3-point play. So, so I think what they're going to do is they want green and blue. They're just gonna come here because they're pretty much winning everything else. All right, there you go, done. So now we're done. Now we're gonna do scoring. So let's start with the outer planets where white's gonna score a ton of points, and we're all gonna try to catch up. Okay, so white's gonna score first here. Sorry, we're gonna be tied here because I remember I get the +1 bonus here, so we're tied. So we're actually gonna score 3 points each. All right, this one's gonna be white. So this is going to be 5 + 1, 6 points. This one's going to be tied, so they're going to score 3 points each. This one is going to be tied again because of the white has the tiebreaker. So they get a +1 influence here, so it's 2 versus 2, so it's 3 points each again. Alright, this one's going to be white straight up. So it's going to be white. Oh, sorry, I did forget to score extra. No, wait, this was a tie, so they both scored. And this one I scored. Okay, so we're good. So this one's going to be white, but blue's going to be in second. So white's going to score 5 and blue's going to score 3. Right, and up here, white's going to score 5 and red's going to score 3. Alright, so there you go. We're done for the outer planets. Let's score the belt. So over here, it's going to be red 6. So remember, I got the +1 bonus, and white 3. Here it's going to be the exact same thing, 6 and 3. Here's going to be straight up 5. All right, here it's going to be tie, so 3 versus 3. So we're going to score 3 points each. All right, this one's going to be blue for 5 and white has 3. Wow, it's going to be close. All right, let's do this one here. So blue's 5, and here Marner Valley is actually 6. All right, now once 3 bases left to score, and then we're done. So here's going to be 5. Oh, I think this plan is going to make me win. Actually, I'm going to gain this one too, which is another 6. All right, there you go. That's going to be winning. Sorry, blue's going to get 3 here. And up here, it's going to be blue with 6. And white has 3. All right, well, there you go. So we're done scoring. So orange took it down against blue, and white finished in last, but it was pretty close. It was only a couple of extra scoring that made it go one way or the other, and it's a pretty quick game. As you see, you only got I think this game we only got 9 actions each, so it goes by pretty quick. So give me a thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel. We'll see you in the next one. Later.